Masada is located 14 miles north of the southern end of the Dead Sea. It is a unique mesa on the eastern slope of the Judean desert. Masada rises to 1,440 feet above the western shore of the Dead Sea. Masada lies in a very dry region that lack of permanent water supply. In spite of this, Masada's history, more water was stored on this fortified mountain than any temple mountain in Jerusalem. Herod the Great built a water system by installing dams in the nearby valleys to divert the winter rain into channels that directed to the water into cisterns built in the northwest side of the cliff. From there, slaves carry water to the upper reservoir. The summit of Masada is virtually flat. Its surface area of 2,130 feet by 984 feet provides sufficient space to sustain a thriving community. Two routes provide access to the top of the mountain. On the east side, the snake path, with its modern hand-cut steps, ascend over 1,000 feet from the desert floor. This was the only approach in David's day. The 328-foot Roman ramp on the western side was built by Jewish forced labor during the Roman siege of AD 70 to 73. King Herod built two elaborate palaces on Masada. The Hanging Palace, on the northern end of the summit, extended down of the mountain on 3 levels. The lowest level is 115 feet from the top. Winding staircases provided access to each level. The other larger palace was located on the western side of the mountain. Although Masada is not mentioned in the Bible by name, it is possible that this was David's place of refuge during his flight from Saul, and where he wrote some of his Psalms. If so, David was probably referring to Masada as the stronghold, using it to describe the God as his fortress and rock of refuge. In AD 66, in the beginning of great revolt against Rome, a group of zealots called Sicarii captured Masada from Roman soldiers stationed there. During the period of revolt, Masada became a place of refuge for others fleeing Roman rule. The last of the refugees arrived at Masada in AD 70, after the destruction of the temple. They built a synagogue, public hall, and a ritual bath. This group lived there for 3 years until AD 72, when units of Roman army arrived to take Masada. The siege lasted several months, during which the army built an earthen ramp up the western side of the mountain. They used Jewish slaves to build the ramp so that the Jews on Masada would not roll rocks down the hill to kill them. When there was no hope of escape, the Jews on Masada chose to die rather than live as slaves under Rome. 900 men, women, and children committed mass suicide. Only a few women and children survived by hiding in the covered cisterns or the water box. Before the suicide, they burned all the buildings on Masada, except the storehouses, to demonstrate to Romans that they did not die because they had no food. The mass suicide and ensuing destruction of the fortress occurred the night before the Roman 10th Legion took Masada. The courage and sacrifice of the Jewish zealots residing on Masada during the Roman siege is celebrated as the supreme example of self-sacrifice for the preservation of the nation of Israel. Today, when the recruits of the Israel Armored Corps taken the oath of allegiance, they do so on Masada to remind each generation of the price their forefathers paid for their nation. They cried, "Masada shall not fall again."
With the help of God, I know I can be strong to make this land our home. If I must fight to make this land our own, until I die, this land is mine.